Alright guys, let's talk about Godzilla on the city. No. Alright guys, let's talk about Godzilla, City on the Edge of Battle. The second film in the planned trilogy that I guess you could call the Godzilla Monster Planet trilogy, Godzilla anime trilogy. I'm gonna go with Godzilla Monster Planet trilogy. Now, as I said before, if you haven't seen my review of the first movie, I thought it was pretty good. Not one of the best Godzilla movies, I'd say, but definitely still pretty enjoyable. Although my biggest complaint with the movie was, which, as I said before, which I feel like a lot of Godzilla movies have been doing that lately. Well, specifically the Millennium movies did this a lot, where they had a very, very interesting backstory that was just a backstory, and then we just cut to some other plot that is more or less kind of generic. One of the ones I used as example, I believe, was probably something along the lines of like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, where it turns out Godzilla's attacked many times, and this is just I don't know, like the 10th or no, it was like the 4th time he get attacked. And some of the other ones do that as well. The Godzilla against Mechagodzilla movies, the Kiru films, Godzilla Final Wars, all of them had basically in their universes history of monster attacks are going on. And I thought Godzilla Monster Planet, it had a similar type of thing going. It was a whole history of monster attacks. I mean, I think that's worthy of a movie. Godzilla, Kamacuras, and that's the part that made me mad. The fact that they hinted at that. Oh, they're all gonna be in the movie. It turns out they were just cameos. But moving aside from that, like I said, I overall liked Godzilla Monster Planet. And now it's time to finally review the sequel, which came out very fast, so I enjoyed that. For the first minute, I'll just give a spoiler-free version. The spoiler-free version, I'll say this. If you have a problem waiting for the monster to show up, this may not be for you. And if you don't like anime, of course, this may not be for you. With that being said, I gotta say, after like 50 freaking years of Godzilla movies, I'm starting to get a little concerned. I mean, it wasn't... that's something I'll talk about, I guess, in another video. It's kind of in my mind lately. This whole question of Godzilla screen time has all of a sudden become such a big freaking deal. So, yeah, I'll get to that later. But overall, the movie to me was very good. Like I said, though, you've probably heard by now, discussions are going around in Facebook groups and YouTube and whatnot. If you have a problem waiting for the kaiju to appear, this may not be for you. But otherwise, if you're one of those fans who actually enjoy the human characters, enjoy the themes that they explore in the movies, these types of movies, then this will be for you, and you will enjoy the crap out of it. But if you are just there for a monster rock'em sock'em type of thing, I don't know what to say for you, man. I don't know what to say. But, okay, that's the end of my spoiler-free review. I want to talk about the details. Okay, this was a pretty interesting movie, I've got to say. They took a lot of what we've already seen before and then played around with it so much that I was left kind of amazed by it. Like, it got slowly better and better. And yes, you did have to wait quite a bit of time to see Godzilla in action, but to me, the build in the meantime was well worth it because all the themes that are being explored, namely the nature of humanity, what kind of cost you put on victory, the difference between what we perceive as primitive beings as opposed to highly sophisticated beings, which is something I think, if you're very interested in the nature of how human beings treat each other, you could see that a lot today and a lot in history. We view those people as savages, so we don't really care. Their lives aren't worth anything. We're the ones who, bring the light to society or whatever. That type of argument is made in the movie at times, and it's very interesting and gets kind of dark at times, which to me was pretty amazing. I mean, the movie is definitely science fiction, but there are many elements of horror to it, which I enjoyed quite a bit. And interesting enough, didn't need gore to do it. It was just very interesting imagery that was just awesome. So like I said, the human characters, like I said, in the first one, I enjoyed the characters, but there was kind of so many barraging at once. Like, okay, who's that? but now I'm kind of more used to them after watching Godzilla Martian Planet a few times. That's the glory of Netflix, right? And then that's what going to this one, I kind of knew who everyone was, so it definitely helped a lot. So yeah, like I said, I enjoyed all the human characters. This one, of course, Haruo was very interesting human character. I thought he was already interesting from the. I thought his very first scene in Godzilla Monster Planet made the series interesting, but in here he gets even better. And then there's Metfias. I'm not sure how you say it exactly. Metfias, exactly how you say it. He's pretty interesting, and that leads to something I'm going to talk about later. The Belisado, very interesting alien race. Definitely the most interesting alien race we've seen in a very long time. And I'm not joking about that. Because at the first movie, I was kind of flabbergasted. Wait, what? Aliens are a part of this? What in the hell? And that took a little while to get used to. But here I'm used to it. And now, since, once again, I think Godzilla Monster Planet had a thing going, kind of like the first X-Men movie, Godzilla 14, where they're just kind of shoving all this information at you, and it's kind of just an intro, and they give you kind of a taste of what it's all going to be about. So you can, kind of take it or leave it, but it kind of leads you into the second one. And this one, I could see why they did that, because now they actually explore the culture of the different aliens. Metfias, their species is more religious, and they're more focused on peace, you could say. And they believe in science, but they still believe more in fate and tradition. The Belisado are more pure. You're basically technocrats. All they care about is building up to the next technological achievement, which will take them to the ultimate evolutionary pinnacle, which is a very interesting idea, because there is an idea of what's going to happen to humans in the future. This idea has been explored billions of times in movies, threat of AI, what's going to become of us, Terminator type stuff. But here it took on a very interesting angle, where what if AI was our only option to survive a deadly situation? In this case, Godzilla. What do you do? Do you succumb, or do you retain your humanity? Very interesting, and to an extent, kind of reminded me of Hellsing Ultimate, the whole Anderson Walter thing. If you've seen Hellsing Ultimate, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen Hellsing, you don't even know what Hellsing is, and you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. But before I go on too long about everything I love about the human angle in this one, I will say this. There was one thing I did not like, and that was, see, I can't remember her damn name. The love interest of Haru. I'm all bad with the pronunciations today. It's not that I don't think she's a bad character. In fact, I thought she actually ended up being kind of cool. But I did feel that the love story was just a wee bit forced. Just a wee bit. I mean, maybe if it had a little more time to build up. But then the movie's already long as it is, so they don't have enough time. So I understand. And the love story is something that's trendy enough after like 30 plus movies, has not really been explored in too many Godzilla movies. I could think of only a handful that have explored romance beyond just like a doe-eyed stare between the two main characters. And like I said, I think I said this before in a video, I think the only Godzilla would ever have on-screen kissing, as far as Japanese ones go, and mind you, I'm trying to remember which one that was. Oh yeah, Invasion of Astro Monster was the only one, at least if I'm wrong, correct me, that's the only one I could think of that had on-screen kissing between Kumi Mizuno and, damn it, I can't remember his name now. Was it Steve Adams? Nick Adams? Damn, I'm getting crucified in this, but I'm in a bit of a rush because I got I just graduated from college. Thank you. But I'm a bit of a rush doing this video because I got tons of stuff to do, between work and the next stage of school, teacher credential. Yeah, that's all I'll be doing later on. I'll probably just make a video catching everybody up on what I've been doing lately, because I know I haven't made a video in a very long time. But like I said before I get away on another tangent, the love story to me, it wasn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination. I just wish it'd been developed maybe a little bit better, because they kind of do the whole usual. I don't know. I hate to sound like super cliche about how Japanese do love stories, because no, they've done some pretty good ones. I've seen that many times, both their movies and their shows and mangas. But this one felt kind of stereotypical, where the chick kind of admires the guy already, literally calls him senpai, and then lo and behold, they end up being a thing. A little bit better, and she wasn't, she isn't just your damsel in distress, which I was grateful for. So overall, the human characters I thought were very well done. I love this rendition of the, I guess you could call this is a new version of the twin sisters, Miana and Mi. That part was confusing, but it's a different language, so I guess it's only proper. But was it Miana and Miana or something like that? Very strange names, but I like the design was very cool. I like the way they communicated. The whole look of their culture was great, and I love their dialogue. The way they speak was pretty great. The crows are taking flight. I'm watching English. I don't know if I want to. I don't really watch Godzilla movies in English anymore unless it's already in English. Basically Godzilla 2014, because I don't really watch 1998. I do own 1998, but I don't really ever watch it. But yeah, I don't think I'll watch it in English because the dubs are usually just not that great. So like I said, human characters all around I thought were fantastic, and there's a lot of interesting ideas being tossed around in there. Which leads, I think everyone, if you make it past all the human stuff, which I hate to make it sound like a burden, but some people seem to view this stuff as a burden. I do not. But once you get to the climax, though, that's where things really start heating up. Although I should say one last thing before I get to the climax. Mechagodzilla's treatment of the movie. Very strange, but not that I'm mad about it. Because it was weird. We saw Mechagodzilla head. I thought, what the hell is going on here? And I know for months, maybe even years now, I was talking about what the hell is going on. Mechagodzilla's design in this movie looks very strange. But then he's already been made by aliens before, and it still looked more like Godzilla. So what is going on here? And then I even saw, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know what's going on there, but I could have swore a few months ago I saw a little figure of what this Mechagodzilla was going to look like, and it kind of looked like Godzilla Earth, except for the head. Kind of looks like a crawdad head or something, but that wasn't in the movie at all. Instead, we have very different Mechagodzilla who, in a sense, kind of borrowing up the Kiryu idea. The Kiryu was, kind of a mostly like 90% machine, but he had a DNA computer, which I didn't think faster. Oh yeah, I forgot. No, less than 90% machine because he had Godzilla's bones in his body, so he was like basically a cyborg. This Mechagodzilla also has intelligence, but he's still completely artificial. But he's made of basically nanometal, nanotechnology. We've seen this before, probably in some kind of sci-fi iteration or a TV show or a movie or something. And I gotta say, I was actually surprised because when the movie finally did end, and then I sat back like, wow, that was pretty awesome. And also I realized, wait, oh shit, Mechagodzilla didn't even appear in the movie, and I didn't mind. There was Mechagodzilla City, of course, which is a very neat idea. The look of it, the ideas behind it, just all very interesting and very cool. And also answer my biggest question, how the hell are they going to beat Godzilla Earth? Well, these humans and aliens, they're probably the most innovative characters you're ever going to see on screen trying to get rid of the monsters, because in all my years of watching Godzilla movies, it's pretty rare people get this close. Pretty rare. I mean, they basically kind of had it in the bag, more or less. The only time I think of was, of course, the original Godzilla, the Ocean Destroyer. That was obvious, of course. Mothra vs. Godzilla, they got really close with the electrocution plan. That damn near got them until they got arrogant and messed it up. And then after that, I don't think they ever had a stroke of luck that well done, except for maybe Godzilla's Biollante, I suppose, kind of. The anti-nuke energy bacteria did work, but Godzilla kind of came back next movie, so yeah, more or less. But like I said, the whole point is they've rarely been this good at taking down Godzilla. And of course, Shin Godzilla. But yeah, Mechagodzilla's role in the movie was interesting. Like I said, I saw the figure online, so it will be kind of a waste to make a whole figure of a character not even in the movie. Perhaps in the third one he'll appear, because maybe the nanobots aren't completely done, the nanometal, but as yet to be seen. We'll have to see the trailer for it. But moving on to the finale. Okay, no matter what you think of the movie, you may debate whether it's boring or not, but the ending, and honestly, my expectations for this movie were low a bit. They were a bit low because I heard people just going on, oh, it's boring, it's boring, it's boring, which I already knew. Like, I don't mind a movie being kind of talkative as long as the ideas are interesting. So, but still, there's so much negativity kind of coming out. I was like, By the time the movie ended, though, I seriously would put this in one of the top 10 Godzilla movie endings. In fact, I might have to restructure my top 10 list, honestly speaking. Although maybe too soon to tell since there's a third part coming out later this year, and we probably won't get that Netflix till probably January, maybe. Maybe for lucky December, but I'm guessing January 2019 is when Godzilla Planet Eater will be on Netflix for your viewing pleasure. I still want the DVDs of these two, but no idea when that's going to happen either for American fans. But yeah, the ending I thought was just fantastic. I don't think there's been a Godzilla movie ending quite like this, which has made it really good. It was very original, and yeah. I mean, normally humans get this close to beating us, either they do it or through their own hubris they end up failing. But this time was definitely more a moral quandary. What does it really mean to be human, and is this victory even worth it? And that was just excellently questioned in the movie. And wow, wow, it was awesome. And the action we do get is pretty awesome. I was rewatching the ending scene for a while, the whole day after I got off work. It was visually awesome. The music was awesome. That's the only thing. One other complaint I did have with the movie, I wish the music was a little uh, more robust at times. It was still really good, but I actually liked Godzilla Martial Planet's music a little bit more, surprisingly. I'm pretty sure it's the same composer. A lot of themes came back. I just wish they had more sweeping, epic moments in the music. But when it did get epic, it was pretty cool, and I could not complain a bit. And the ending, that final, which leading back to my point, Haru is one of my favorite Godzilla protagonists, and that's pretty rare for me to say. Usually, protagonists of the movie to me, they're there and they can be interesting, but it's rare that they stick in your mind. Like some of the other ones who stick in my mind, of course, are like Lieutenant or Admiral Tachibana from GMK. He was awesome, of course, and of course his daughter too. I mean, don't get me wrong, that one's had good characters in general. Yuji from is that was his name? Yuji? Yuguchi. I can't remember exactly his first name, but I know the end plan I think was called the Yuji plan from Shin Godzilla. He was interesting, along with Yokoyo. He was pretty interesting. Ford from Godzilla 14. He's interesting, but the moral quandary, but that wasn't there like some other movies. But yeah, Haru is definitely up there for me. One of my favorite human characters in a Godzilla movie. And which another thing I wanted to mention, the vulture drones, very interesting creatures. I'm pretty sure we figure that out at some point. Although maybe not, because I heard the movie didn't do that good at the box office in Japan. That could be because of the reception of the runtime. Although I don't think the Japanese character Shin Godzilla also had a lot of talking, and the movie was one of the most well-performing Godzilla movies of all time at the box office. So, or maybe because Shin Godzilla did spread it out, though. You had Godzilla in the beginning, right at the beginning, really good middle piece, and of course an end piece. Maybe that's why this one didn't have that. I don't know. I'm not a Japanese marketing expert, so I can't answer that question for you. But what I will say is I hope the third film, Godzilla Monster Planet, lives up to this. I mean, Godzilla Planet Eater. And, I mean, let's face it, I think by now everybody knows. I mean, the poster for the third movie came out before this movie came on Netflix, so we all saw the three heads. King Ghidorah is going to be in this. We can only wonder what he's going to look like. Hopefully he looks cool. I'm hoping it's something along the lines of Heisei or Showa King Ghidorah, or preferably Grand King Ghidorah. I don't want a Death Ghidorah, Kaiser Ghidorah type creature. But we all know, as usually, going to be bigger than Godzilla, so this will be the biggest Ghidorah yet. And that should be pretty awesome to see. Metphias seemed to imply that Ghidorah was a lot more powerful, more terrifying than Godzilla. So maybe that's when we see Mechagodzilla. They set it up in a way that's going to be very, very interesting. Because this Godzilla is unquestionably the enemy, so I'm not sure if they're going to do the whole Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah type thing where they have a team up with Godzilla. I don't see that happening, per se. So we're really just going to have to see. But overall, I would honestly give this movie about an A- for me. Like, the lowest I would go is like an 8.5. But really, my rating is really around the 9. I thought it was just a really interesting movie. I guess if you wanted to appease some of the more kaiju fans, you would have maybe a middle action scene, but I don't know. Overall, I don't think it needed that. I thought the story was just fine. The story itself was interesting, and it was trying to rely on the human characters. I thought it did it very well. Like I said, this feels like if the first one felt more like your traditional Godzilla vs. Megaguirus type storyline, this felt more like kind of like Aliens mixed with other interesting sci-fi movie ideas, but done in a very original way, especially for a Godzilla movie. And like I said, the visuals are pretty good. Like I said, of course, the stillness of the human face of this is always going to be a detractor. Like when they really need to show emotion, such as the love story part, it's not always going to sink through all the way because of the type of animation that's being used. But overall, I didn't have any problem with it. I thought it was pretty good. And I'm damn for sure looking forward to the next Godzilla anime series. This one blew my expectations out of the water. I thought it was pretty awesome. So let me know what you guys thought about the movie in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you go down the middle line? Did you just thought it was just awful? Let me know what you guys think, and see you guys soon.